So yes, yeah. So you guys head down the tunnel, kind of bodies slung over your shoulder, and you do eventually come across an area where the tunnel opens up a little bit on like the left side. It's not lit back there, and it's not a ton of space. It just sort of feels like probably just it was a natural outcropping of some kind that maybe just sort of happened to crisscross with where the tunnel was dug. But you can head down there and try to toss some bodies if you want. But there's no way of knowing what's sort of down that path. It doesn't necessarily look like it goes too far. But you'd have to have my Meru light it for you.
Maybe don't go in there, just throw the bodies in there. Right?
Going where? Sorry?
Into the little outcropping.
Yeah, there's an outcropping that we just came up to.
Just chuck them. Don't go in there.
What if I just like take the body by the feet and spin?
Yeah.
And then just
shot put him or what's I don't know.
Yeah, shot put.
Or no, there's one with a ball and chain.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it's called though.
That one.
You've got the other body, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Just throw him in.
It's impressive. Just gonna.
Don't go in there.
Oh, you're just gonna set it down? We could. I mean,
journey. I don't have the strength to shot put him.
No, I was saying we can journey a little bit inside.
There's gonna be a monster.
Place.
It's gonna be a monster.
Amazing things are gonna be a monster.
That's the point.
So.
It's a monster.
Jason did mention that there might be a chance for an encounter.
Yeah.
So.
If we chose, which don't choose to go in there.
Throw trains. You're worried about monsters.
I think it's more important to quickly get out of this tunnel in case for some reason they are pursuing. It's going to be real easy if we're all on the track of the train. So.
I begrudgingly accept Steve's proposal.
Okay.
And I take the armor and I just kind of grab it by its legs and its chest and I just kind of and throw it into the...
I do it too, but it's less impressive. Because I'm old and weak.
And as Albus, as you, Steve kind of does this little, and it kind of, you can hear it kind of land in there, and you shot put yours a lot harder. You do hear a clank that sounds like metal upon metal. So it sounds like you might have hit something in there as you tossed it.
You hit the robot.
You're really digging at my curiosity.
Yeah.
Did anyone else hear that?
Yep, let's go.
I didn't hear anything.
Sean, your yes-anding today is just impeccable.
I don't want to go find a monster. If the yes and is find a random monster,
yes.
Then you're right, I'm not.
He said yes, and let's get the fuck out of here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'd like to check it out.
It sounds
Meru,
like majority
you can certainly
losers.
kind of you can light it up a little bit. You could see what's inside if you want.
Yeah, I'm not going in there.
Guys, do we want to get to the town to get freedom, or do we want to get distracted by an alcove?
They said they're interested. I have the light source. There's no harm in me lighting it up a little bit.
Okay.
I would rather keep moving, though. I don't really want to get captured again. I think I don't think they're gonna take my word anymore based on whatever my sister did. So
listening to the worry and disdain in Steve's
guys.
voice, I just kind of huff and start moving my way toward the other side of the tunnel.
Great.
Okay, so some of you sort of move away from the alcove. Who moves away?
I suppose both of us do, yeah.
I mean, if everyone's moving away, if there's no need to light the light.
I was moving away as soon as I threw the thing.
Yeah.
I would turn around to be like, are we really go into the...
As you, before you move away, though, I mean, I assume you still peeked inside. Is that a thing that you did?
They threw the bodies backwards.
I'm
never
just walking.
looked.
I'm just.
Yeah. I hucked the armor. I heard the clang with my ear. I pointed it a little bit. And then
Does
Steve was
anybody
like,
want to peek inside? Anybody at all?
It was going to be me if I peeked. So
I
Do you
mean,
wanna
peek.
peek?
Go ahead, peek.
Sure.
You want to peek?
yeah, I'll peek.
Well, maybe it's like
I'll
treasure
peek.
chest.
Do you have any kind of light source with you? I guess you could have like a lantern with you. That'd be fine.
Would that cost me an inventory point?
Sure. Yeah.
All right. I'm now at 6.
So you kind of light your lantern real quick as everyone's heading away, and you kind of glance inside. You don't go too far, and the light kind of spills into it, and it definitely goes deeper, although you're not quite sure how deep. Make a insight and probably double insight. Make a double insight check for me.
While he does that real quick, I'll just point out that there is so much wind here in Flagstaff right now that it is shaking Sean's camera.
Yeah.
Indoors.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if the mics have been picking up on the rattling.
I'm not sure. I've been looking at it for activity. I don't think at its loudest maybe a hint, but
Yeah, it's like
extreme.
up here it feels like it's just gonna cave in.
yeah, my window over here is also really loud. It's like 60-mile-an-hour winds.
Yeah,
That's fun.
it's
Yeah.
gross.
So with 2 d8s, that's a 5 and a 7 for 12.
Nice.
Peering inside, you notice a couple of things. One is that it appears to be empty, other than the two like bodies that are there. You don't see anything living or moving around in here. But you do notice what appears to be a device, kind of tubing, kind of comes out of the wall, plops into the ground. It's very similar to the other kobold things that you have seen earlier. It looks like this was a similar kind of situation. What is different and a bit more obvious is that there are no crystals in this room. It is completely devoid of crystals. And you even notice that there are lots of, I don't know if I want to call them divots, but what you would assume would be where these crystals were, there are none. But you can see that there are sort of spaces. Some of them have sort of filled in, it looks like, over time or with movement. Some of them, especially as it sort of climbs up on the parts of the wall, it looks like there's just holes, like that kind of where these crystals, roughly shaped, some of them are sort of geometrically shaped, where these crystals might have grown at one point and are no longer there. And as you're sort of just taking that in, you also notice on the opposite side of the wall, there are what you at first think might be other kind of holes where the crystals might have been, but then you notice that they're shaped very differently, and they're much smoother and sort of organic shaped. They almost look as though they were maybe a like a strangely shaped like cocoon, or like maybe an egg or something that has like been peeled open and out, basically. So there was something in here organic, and then there's but all that's left, as far as you can tell, is just a single sort of mechanical cobalt bit, and no crystals, nothing of the sort. So
Cool.
Okay. So, noticing everybody else left, I need to get up there and kind of inform everybody that there might be some bugs and other nasties about.
Great.
Great.
Does seem to be the way this day is going.
Yeah, I'm glad we didn't stop. Let's keep moving.
okay, so you guys keep going down the track, and it takes maybe, I don't know, I'm going to say 45 minutes or so. But as you're approaching, you sort of round a bin, and you can already see basically the tail of your tram down. Like, you can see it now. It has come to a complete stop.
Okay.
And you can see that there's the section that is sort of pulled into is like completely metallic, basically, as though like it pulled into big old metal, sort of like, I guess you could call it like a piece of the track. It's almost like there's a metal tube, like it goes from rock, like sort of, the hewn and cut rock to metal. And the tram is just sort of sitting there. It's parked. You kind of hear the sound of machinery kind of echoing up from where it is. And you can basically make out, just from where you are, on the side, I guess it'd be this side, that has like where the exit door is for the tram. You see that sure enough, there appears to be like a platform over there. But yeah, there's plenty of lighting up ahead. It's much brighter than any other places. So far, you don't hear or see any people.
Oh, good. That was gonna be my next question.
Mm-hmm.
So, Gunolf, do you want to go with me? We'll send the tram back, you said a tube. I almost got the sense that it ended and it would have to go back this way only. Is it a through stop?
From what you can tell, you do actually sort of see, like, I guess it's hard to make out from the angle. It doesn't look entirely through.
Okay.
Let's put it that way. You see what amounts to a wall, and judging from the way that it looks, it's metallic. There's piping and other things on it. But it looks like it's a little ways in front of where the tram has parked. But this doesn't necessarily look like it's just a complete thoroughfare, like just right through. Yeah.
So maybe we can try to program it for like another, because at some point we change directions to go towards the town as opposed to somewhere else. So maybe there's a way to send it to like another destination that's not just simply back where we came from.
I don't believe you had like a switch. Maybe I'm misremembering. I'm pretty sure you went straight shot from the facility to here. Yeah.
Okay. So,
do you guys approach it?
You guys let me know. I feel like maybe there's not as much of a point if there's only 2 spots on this tram. One is the destination, one is the prison. Then it's a lot of subterfuge for like, it's pretty obvious. Like there's only so many places we could go. So I don't know that it matters that much, but what do you guys think?
I agree.
Well, right. Yeah.
I agree with that.
So
Yeah.
might as well just leave it. It was good to play it safe though. And if we don't see anyone, then it could have been an ambush and we peace of mind now. So
yep.
Could make for a quick exit. I don't know that we want to go back that way.
No, I don't think so. But
if we had to in a pinch, I guess it's an option.
Yeah, exactly.
In a way, there might be a little bit of a because the bodies aren't there. They might be like, oh, this might be the wrong tram, or they got through a different tram.
True.
So we could be in the clear. I'm being optimistic, but we could be in something of a clear.
Yeah.
I'm fine operating like that for now.
Okay. So you guys continue on. There's definitely a distinction as you approach where you kind of go from walking on dirt to sort of walking on this kind of roughly iron kind of tunnel that you're in. And you basically reach the caboose. Now there's no door on the back of the caboose because it was the prison car. So you sort of squeeze up and sort of shimmy along the side of it. Who goes first?
It's Myru with flame, right?
Okay.
Makes sense.
And you're not really sure. It's not like you've ever been around a lot of machinery, so you're not entirely sure what you're taking in as you kind of pop through. But as you basically scoot on up to where the first first 2 cars are, you notice that like whatever this place is, it's incredibly complex. There's piping and tubing, and you can hear like the hissing and moving. You see all kinds of like little wheels that are like, they got like little teeth in them. They kind of interlock and they move around. These are things that like, there's a level of machinery that you're just not familiar with. And everything is kind of, there's a lot of ticking and whirring and hissing and like all kinds of noise. Like it is almost an ecosystem, a forest of itself, but of like without any kind of animal noise, just all this mechanical stuff. And as you sort of like squeeze past, you notice that there's sort of these large, they look almost like pillars of some kind that are sort of divoted, that kind of rise up from the sort of floor almost, and they go all the way up into the ceiling. And as you kind of squeeze on by, you notice that there is just sort of an empty metal platform. You don't see anybody. It's just lit. All there is just sort of the hiss and the ticking and everything else that you hear from all this machinery all around. So from the looks of it, you're totally in the clear. You don't see anybody. Do you continue onward? Do you get up onto the platform?
Yeah, I mean, I'll try to. I mean, I think I need to get out of the way so that everybody else can come through.
Mhm.
So I will stand somewhere to where there's still a light source they can get through. Ears are very much like pricked up as I'm just observing all this machinery that I don't understand. But I will share that the platform is empty and so far so good.
Okay.
As people are coming through.
You kind of crawl up onto the platform or hop up there. You're agile and sort of hold your flame up above so the rest of them can sort of get up onto it. And those of you that are more experienced with machinery, I won't necessarily make you roll for this. You definitely see that this, you recognize it as kobold made. There's a lot of just machinery, contraptions of all different kinds. The most noticeable thing is that the sort of large pillars, they are like toothed, and there are essentially like cogs in the floor. As far as you can tell, the very platform that the tram is on is designed to rise up into the ceiling effectively and move the train.
Ooh.
Cool.
And you can tell from where it stopped that if you had not stopped it, it basically would have broken through what effectively was more like hey, there's like a little tiny barricade that probably would not have stopped it, but it would have dumped into someplace. From what you can see, there kind of looks like a bit of a pit that goes somewhere else down a tunnel towards God knows where.
Oh my God.
But there is, this whole area appears to be like made. Whoever's made all this, you are in what appears to be a larger machine or complex of some kind that has a lot of gears and moving pieces and things like that. The floors are metal, but yeah, for the time being, you don't see or hear anybody, at least not over the just sort of drum of all the machinery.
How easy is it to
Okay.
discern an exit?
There is a single exit off the platform, unless you want to dive down that hole.
I don't know. Gun off. You want to?
You want to go exploring
No. Yeah, I would love to head towards the exit.
again? Yeah.
All right, let's go up.
Okay. So you guys continue poking your heads a little bit further. It's definitely a difference for some of you. There's this very metallic clank of like your shoes or paws or whatever as you move across the floor. It's a catwalk. There's sort of like railing, and basically it's to separate where you're walking from a lot of the like piping and tubing that appears to be moving all kinds of energy or steam or pressure or something in and around all these things. And as you exit, you guys kind of get dumped into what looks like maybe a slightly larger area, like a slightly larger tunnel. And that is the moment where you see the first sort of like sign of life. A little bit further down, you see a small sort of reptilian creature, a little guy. He's kind of got little overalls, and he's kind of got a little visor, and you can see him. He's got a little pack on that kind of glows with some elemental alchemical substance in it, and he's just welding some stuff. He's putting some stuff together. He doesn't even seem to notice you guys as you sort of exit into the bigger tunnel. You can go left, you can go right. If you go left, you'll pass him. If you go right, you'll go the other way. It appears you've entered some sort of larger area or something of the sort.
Okay. I'd like to tap Sharp's shoulder and be like, what is... I'm gesturing to the little guy. What is?
Sharp, he's a kobold. This is a
Okay.
kobold. There's a little short diminutive kobold. They're small, sort of dragon-like anthropomorphic creatures. They're industrious. They
Peter
yeah,
and
they-
Michaela's character from the one
Sometimes
shot.
they walk around in mechs.
sometimes
Mhm.
yeah. They are very they have used they have well used a lot of the alchemical science, so to speak, the elemental energy that some of the dragons that used to kind of rule over them. There was a lot of political upheaval, but they now have sort of brought themselves up. Instead of just working for dragons in the dragon empire of old, they now have their new draconic republic where capitalism and everyone's on the same kind of page. They run themselves with a lot of like guilds and businesses and corporations and stuff like that. And dragons are still around, but very rare. And they basically the kobolds run their own little version of the draconic empire. They have served well in the many kind of wars that have existed, and they do have mechs. They've got airships. They've got all kinds of equipment and things like that. Maybe not the finest making quality, but it gets the job done every time, and that's what they pride themselves on. So most of you would know that. Kestrel would not.
Yeah. Sharp essentially gives her that information, but not like in more digestible words.
Okay.
Explain like I'm 5.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
What is politics?
Yeah.
Right. What
Oh, boy.
capitalism?
Capitalism.
Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah, kind of like easier, just like it's a person thing.
Okay.
Yay.
I'm nodding along in rapt fascination.
And Steve is following Gunnulf. So wherever Gunnulf goes, that's where Steve is going to go.
Oh man, this is perfect. A Kobold Town. Ah man. Oh, there's so many things I could do here. Oh, I've got so many ideas. Oh, I got to find a place.
Why is it perfect? Why? What do you mean? What place?
Well, I mean, at the very least, like some shops, and I got things to sell. There are things that I'd like to buy. The projects that I'd like to work on. Oh, man, we need to find a shop. I guess we could find a place to stay first, but I've got to explore this place. This is great.
Well, and Albus, you're looking for restaurants and ingredients and recipes.
Keeping my eye out, but unfortunately, I'm broke.
Oh,
And my
okay.
food costs money.
Okay.
But I'm definitely gonna be window shopping. I'm gonna go poke around for a while.
Well, I was going to say some of us can go get a place to stay while the others go shopping.
Well,
I can help.
I thought we weren't gonna stay here.
I think we were going to try to stay for like a night just
Oh.
to recover. And then we said one day.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Sorry.
I kind of look down at the fact that I'm wearing prison attire
Mhm.
and I'm literally wearing shackles.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I want to walk into this town looking like an escaped prisoner.
Yeah, that was a
on
thought
account
that I
of the
had
fact
as
that
well.
might be problematic. So I think I'm gonna is there a way I can unlock just the chain portion?
You
not
can't-
the crystal
chain
part?
Correct. Yeah. The chains
Okay.
can be unlinked. Yeah.
Okay, I'd like to unlock those, not the crystal part, and then wrap the chain around my arms.
Okay.
Kind of like I'm wearing bracelets now.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't really know what to do about the outfit. I'm just
I
kinda
have
screwed, I
a
guess.
shawl among my possessions that we can sort of wrap around you. It's not really a permanent solution, but it would at least do to get you in the town looking more relatively normal.
Yeah, you do have that jacket just kind of draped across your on your back, right?
Okay.
Sharp, do you want to take Kestrel to the store? Maybe we can get her a better outfit than prison rags.
Yes.
Thank you.
We'll knock on the door.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Just seeing
Your trash
seeing-
can's probably.
Yeah, something may have blown over. Who knows?
Yep.
their house is haunted.
Oh, I don't like it.
Yay!
Yeah, how many ghosts, Maisie? How many ghosts?
I just suddenly see it's like, oh yes, we're gonna go shopping. Oh my god!
But yeah, no, absolutely. I don't know if it would be easier to like take Kestrel with us, or if it would be easier if she like hunkered down in the place that we're staying at just to prevent anybody from seeing her. I don't know like what would make the most sense.
I think just an outfit change or something like that would probably help.
Well-
They kind of look like bracelets now, you know?
Yeah.
Just ignore the blood.
Fashion.
Ignore that. Just wipe it up. Wipe it up. I got that lavender cream. Okay, maybe that's helping.
Yeah. I got bandages. We could bandage
There
it
you
up
go.
a little
See?
bit. Yeah.
Well, I suppose the big question is like, so you guys are basically just in a tunnel for now.
We haven't made it to the town yet, guys. We're
Correct.
Mhm.
Correct. You are in a settlement. There are people here. But yeah, you don't actually know the makeup of this place as
Mhm.
is.
Are we walking past the kobold or not?
Can I?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
yes.
Could I
I
take the
kind of
shawl
want to talk
cover
to.
myself first? Sorry.
Can you what? Oh, you
I
want to
just
put
want
the
to
shawl
take the
on?
shawl to cover.
Yeah, like, here's the-
shit
Easy.
first. Sorry. Okay. All right. Moving on.
I might go up to the kobold and just
You approach him. He's sort of
yeah.
sitting there. There's the loud kind of hiss of the sort of welder that he's got, and it's just sort of and he's got his little visor down. And as you get close, you can tell he's just sort of like he's just sort of humming to himself. So you approach him. He does not notice you. Like he doesn't turn around or anything.
Attack.
I'll just try to like call like speak loudly over the hissing, be like, excuse me. We
Mhm.
we're a little lost. Could you point us in the direction of the nearby settlement?
And you kind of startle him a little bit. He kind of, he kind of like lifts his mask up and sort of flips the little thing to turn his little welder off, and he kind of turns
Mhm.
around and he sees you, and there's sort of a look of like, oh wow, and he's like, oh, where did you folks come from? And he kind of looks at the rest of you and kind of takes you all in. He's like, oh, lively bunch. What was that again?
I was wondering if you could point us to the nearby settlement. I think we're close, but we don't really know which way to go between these tunnels.
Yeah, no, you're here. Yeah, welcome to Roulette. That's the town you're in right now. Yeah, just pick a direction. Head down the tunnel. And he kind of points basically in the direction like you came from one direction where the tram is. He's pointing in the other direction. And you do sort of notice that the tunnel that you guys are in sort of has a bend to it. It would be safe to say that it is probably circular, this tunnel that you're in. And so he's pointing towards the center of it. And he's like, yeah, just head to the stack. You can't miss it.
Okay.
Mhm.
Thank you very much.
Was that?
I'll let you get back to your work.
that is Gus. Yes.
That's the dogs. Yeah.
I thought that was a woman screaming. I'm sorry.
Yeah, just head on into the city.
Jason's got soundboards. No.
Oh, God.
It's a wonderful settlement.
Don't mind the soundproof walls. It's fine.
But yeah, he just sort of looks over you guys and he goes, well, have a good day. And then he kind of puts his little mask back down, turns his thing on again, and he goes about to what he was doing.
Mhm.
Very cute.
Great.
An
Love
excellent welcoming committee.
it.
So
Let's
now
continue
I'm
on.
I'm approaching the front of the group because I'm so excited to be here because studied in tinkering that I am. I'd love to start various projects that I've put aside so I'm getting to the front just purely out of excitement.
Okay. So it does not take you long to basically, as you're heading just down the tunnel, and you eventually you reach at one of the other exits. Basically, there's a turn. It goes towards the direction he was saying, and almost immediately you can hear now over the sound of sort of machinery that you're exiting. You can hear more the sounds of the hustle and bustle of people talking, the occasional yelling voice, still sort of mixed with machinery, but it seems to be a little less the case in the direction that you're going. And as you guys head down the tunnel, you see that it opens up, and what you are basically in is a incredibly large space, artificial. In the center of it is a huge, massive sort of pillar, if you will, of metal, and out of it are numerous catwalks, walkways, all kinds of stuff. This is maybe 20 stories tall from like just top to bottom, with you guys roughly occupying sort of like one of the middle floors somewhere. And out of the sides of all of this massive space are all kinds of things. You spot exits very similar to the one that you're coming out of right now. You spot what looks to be shops, but some of them are sort of on the catwalks, like little just set up stalls. Some of them appear to be more permanent places. You spot numerous sort of little kind of chem lit neon signs, painted signs. There's graffiti, there's hustle, there's bustle. This place is like, think of it like a mall. There's people walking all over. There's people shopping. There's people conversing. There's tiny little tables where people are just sort of eating food. There's, people hawking stuff here and there. You spot all kinds of different businesses, almost any kind that you could think of, even in this small space. It's very cramped. And most of the people here appear to be kobold. I'd say maybe 75%. There's kobolds of all different kind of shapes, sizes. They're all pretty small and diminutive, but all different kinds of varieties of kobolds. And even people of different, there's humans, there's orcs, elves, some dwarves, mixed breeds between them. There's all kinds of people going about their business in here, and all different businesses. At probably the most noticeable business is at the top of as you're sort of looking this place up and down. You can see that the lower area appears to be less, let's call it established, like the number of businesses and sort of signs and stuff sort of diminishes as it gets lower. And you can even see that they are working on maybe constructing more stuff at the bottom, sort of around where a lot of this like pillar is and whatnot. And they seem to be like doing some stuff. So likely that's where they keep expanding. And at the top, however, you see sort of a big, like as you're sort of glancing up, you can see all kinds of lights, and there appears to be some sort of, I guess you could call it, I don't want to call it a building, but the size of the sign that lights it, like tells you that this is maybe the most important part here, especially given that it's also on the top floor. You can't make out what it is, but you do think you make out that it says like hotel and something else, maybe casino at the top. And there's a lot of, there's like a lot of the signs, they're like neon signs basically. So like some of them, especially the ones at the top, they'll even like light up in sequence so that like it looks like it's moving, you know what I mean? It sort of looks like there's like coins, like 1 coin, 2 coin, 4 coins, stuff like that. So yeah, you've got a whole place in front of you. No one really, you catch the occasional glance as people are walking by, but as it stands, you guys are just sort of there taking it all in, and people are going about their business as though you guys belong.
Cool.
Yeah, Castro, let's go find you some new clothes. So we
and Gunolf, you wanted to go to the store as well, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I can hang out with them, and
yeah.
I mean, I'll let them do their clothes shopping, but I'll be at least be nearby them, so
Mhm.
it should be good.
Albus, do you want to go with Gunolf? I'm sure he'll buy you whatever you need.
Yeah, come on.
I'll tag along. I'm mostly like looking around at everybody else that's eating food at small tables and
Yeah.
kind of getting ideas.
What are you eating?
I can probably go secure a plate that go to the hotel and get us some rooms.
That's where I'm headed.
Okay, great. Do you, Chris, have money?
I do.
Okay.
I
Unlike
have some.
most of our party.
Yeah, I guess I don't know that you have money, so I might say like, Gunolf, I'll go get us secure some rooms, but I'm actually pretty broke. If you maybe, if you could loan me a couple zenit.
I don't think I have any money either.
That's why Gunolf's going with
gathering.
I'm not gonna trade my custom.
No. I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay, that's why.
I think I should be able to give you a couple hundred.
you. That'd be great.
Okay.
Maisie, Kestrel gave you that disc. You have not done anything with the disc, right?
Oh, well, I'll do that when I go to bed.
Okay, just want to make sure that you remember that you have it.
I should write it down.
Okay.
So yes, I've given you 200 zenit.
Dang.
Damn.
It's more than I have. I only have 70.
What about me? Hey,
What have you done?
I have to buy this kid some clothes. What the fuck?
It's okay. I'm a merchant. I got some stuff to sell, and
right.
we can pick some.
All
up.
right, so I'll go with Rosalind. We're going to be at this hotel right here, Hotel and Casino.
It seems you can't miss it.
Strange pairing.
Question.
Gunolf, I can try to. No, you know what? I won't gamble. It's okay. We'll just get the hotel,
Could
and
even
we'll
make
meet you
more
guys
money.
when you're back.
Yeah, we're gonna head to the Viquiva.
If you gamble, be responsible.
Don't even give me the option. All right, so we split. We're going to get a room. Rooms,
Okay.
multiple
Yeah.
rooms for everybody.
Rum.
Who wants to go first, I guess? For those of you that are looking for shopping, there are certainly plenty of options. So here in the stack, as it's called, you guys can recover IP points for 10 zenit per point that you want to spend to basically replenish your stock. You also can, if you're looking for ingredients to buy, say for cooking, that's 10 zenit for basically a random taste, or 20 if you want to choose which one you get. You can buy any kind of basic equipment that's in the book. I don't know if you guys are looking for anything, but you can. There are also a number of rare items, some shops that I can cover if you guys want to start looking for what kind of rare stuff is around. Other than that, you guys are what, looking for clothing and what else?
Stuff for the project.
Okay.
I don't know if the project is a secret, but at the very least, can we resolve the winds of trade at this moment, or does it have to be after the rest? If I'm reading this right now, it's after you rest in an area where commerce is possible. But if we can resolve it now, then
we should probably cover. Tell you what, let's hop over to everybody up at the hotel,
Okay.
and then we can kind of wrap that into our grander rest discussion.
Okay.
So, Steve, Rosalind, you guys kind of take, there's a number of little stairs and walkways that wind their way up, catwalks and whatnot. And you eventually head up to the Martingale Hotel and Casino. That's at the top there. And that is it's kind of got the big little neon sign. It's got the little coins that light up in sequence, 1, then 2, then 4, and then keeps looping back. And it appears it's, as far as entrances go to everything else that's in this place, is probably the widest entrance out of all of them. You can hear the hustle and bustle of all kinds of people from the inside. Upon entering, you eventually kind of come across sort of a front desk, and there's a human woman working there, and she sees you guys approach and gives you a nice curt, "Hello, welcome to the Martingale. What can I do for you?"
Named after Wink Martindale, no doubt.
Did you want to lead the convo, Chris?
Sure.
Okay.
Yes, we need lodging for 7 for a night. However many rooms would be best for that, please?
And she's like, "Oh, certainly, that'll be." And this is
2,000.
pretty standard.
Yeah. They're just thrown out of the building.
No. So if it's 10, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, 10 per person a night.
That's conveniently
So
exactly what I have.
Well,
Well, and I would tell Roz that we Gunoff gave me a bunch of money too, so let's look to split it. We can easily do 15 each.
Okay, I'll have to make it. Well, I can do it on my phone, actually. As I say, I had to make a note on my character sheet how much money I have. Well, I can get to it, so it's okay. Just give me
And
a
that
sec.
still leaves me 185 to gamble with. So
That's right.
We're all gonna come back from shop. Steve's just gonna be in there pulling slots.
Bloodshot eyes.
Yeah.
Come on, baby.
90% of gamblers quit right before they hit it big.
Oh no, is that what they tell themselves?
Hmm.
Oh no.
So I guess we'll take
So-
keys.
Correct. So she hands you guys. I guess the question is, how many rooms did you want? They can facilitate
Oh,
anything. They've got enough
Oh.
vacancy. Yeah.
I mean, if they could put
Story reason and chat reason. How many rooms?
Correct. Yeah.
Mhm.
How do you want to break this up?
3?
I mean, I was thinking even 2, but 3 is fine. 3 is probably even better.
Okay.
I just need one with a
3.
big
So
bed.
3 room keys. She gives you. That's totally fine. So yeah, she hands you your room keys and is basically like, feel free to play at any of the tables or any of the slots and enjoy your stay.
I would like to gamble, Jason, but I can wait until it's a better opportunity. Only a little bit. I just want to see, what it's all about.
Well, I don't know if you've noticed from my title, but I also would like to gamble.
Yeah, exactly. We're just gonna gamble
We
a little
sent the
bit.
2 people that have the worst gambling
The
addictions
gambling
to go and get a
I
addiction.
put
hotel
10
key.
Zenit. I just want to do 10 Zenit.
no.
We can wait. We can wait until the evening.
Now
how's
I gave you 100 Zenit each, so
Oh, it wasn't 200
Oh,
to
you gave.
Steve.
You
Okay.
gave Rosalind 100.
Oh, well. Then I'm up
yeah,
money.
it's like,
Oh, well then.
Well, then I'm going to gamble a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you give money to Sharp too, or was that?
Well, he's with Sharp,
I'm with.
but so
Oh,
He
we're all
hates
traveling
me.
together. I thought those 2 went.
I don't know what Myru's
Myra's
up
the
to.
only one I don't think has said what she's doing
Yeah.
yet.
I thought I said I was going to the room earlier, but I think I don't know if it was heard. So I'm just going to wander around the town, actually.
Okay, great. So you're just doing your own thing. Like
I'm
you're
doing
just
my own
exploring.
thing.
Okay.
I'm exploring.
Okay. So I guess Rosalind and Steve, are you checking the rooms first?
Yeah, we
or
need to go
you-
see how many beds they're in and stuff like that.
Yeah,
just to
we're
make sure we
checking
have
that.
everything.
And then I get honestly, while we're waiting, we can go to. It doesn't mean we have to do the casino now, but that's probably. I would just go check it out.
Yeah, well, we're buying time for
Okay.
them to shop.
Yeah.
Well, I'd say it's probably 2 beds a room, so someone's gonna have to double up.
Oh, I
Did you
don't
get the-
sleep.
That's true.
So okay.
Also true.
That was the thought, was that you could go into
Are there
a room.
like chairs in the room that you could at least like
There are-
I'll
sit
sit
at?
down.
Yes.
Yeah, or I'll just.
Ooh, sorry,
I'll-
no chairs
I'll
at the
sit on the
Martindale.
toilet.
There's a table and like 2 chairs in every room.
Great.
There's a little bathroom in there. Yeah, this place is pretty
No.
standard kind of hotel by modern standards, which probably makes it better than a lot of the sort of other places you might find up in the sort of world up above.
Mhm.
But I mean, other than it being maybe a little cramped, the rooms are not kobold sized, but they're not like super tall person sized.
Great.
So you're probably like your headspace is maybe like, a foot for those of you that are kind of regular human height.
Sorry, Albus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Albus,
you're
Albus,
crouching.
you may actually, you're probably gonna have to bend over a little bit.
I'm gonna have to like curl up in
Yeah.
the bed.
You're a cat anyway. You'll
I know,
just
I know.
loaf it.
Yeah, we'll find you a box and you can.
That would be
Yeah,
perfect. I'll need a litter box too.
Got any
Right.
dog beds? That's where Myra will sleep.
That's racist.
Yeah, Myra's a fox.
Kind of is.
It's a dog. It's a dog. So yeah, I can, as long as I'm in the same room as Kestrel, we can have like two other people. We're one other person in our room.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Kestrel would be comfortable with my room unless they have a conversation at some point.
That's a fair point.
Haven't
Maybe
spoken to each other. We're just kind of existing in the same room, a little tense. Cool.
Yeah.
maybe Gunolf, because
Yeah.
Gunolf!
Yeah.
That does make
Yeah.
sense because they know each other.
Gunolf gave me some lavender cream.
yeah, he'll be able. Yeah, okay.
This is
We're a
more
chill
creep-
room.
Myra and Rosalind can be in a room. And
The two
then-
girls. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Sleepover.
And then Steve and Albus in the last room. Great.
That works.
Great.
I'll probably have the room to myself because you'll be downstairs the whole time.
Yeah.
That's true. Push the beds together.
So as long as you guys, so like now we've sort of, you guys are having your first rest scene.
Okay.
Rest scenes can happen either in a settlement or out in the woods. Usually when you guys sort of set up a tent, a campsite, however you want to, chill out. Rest scenes are, a little bit more vague as far as like, there's not like a turn order that's going to be here. This is sort of now a set period of time, usually for a rest scene to count for you guys to get the full benefits. It needs to be like 4 to 6 hours of you guys just kind of being in a space at a time. During this time, you guys can do a number of things. So assuming you guys complete your rest, which for the sake of this, I can tell you that you can, you guys will be able to recover all of your hit points and mind points. You recover from all status effects that you may or may not be afflicted by. You may also sort of have, you guys can build a bond with other people or build bonds, basically however you want to build them. Each of you can select a single bond that you guys want to sort of role play spending time with, building that sort of connection to, or maybe just want to sit in the bar and just stew and be mad at a group or a person or an enemy or something. Whatever you guys want to do to like fill out those bonds, you can do in these rest scenes. The other thing is, like I said, there's shopping that can be done, whether that's ingredients or items, things like that. We will also be using rest activities. I can go over them. Basically, each one of you will be able to sort of select an activity. There are roughly 15 activities, and each of you will eventually have 2 of them that you will assign to your character. So as we kind of go through today, if you guys decide that you like, when you pick one, you'll sort of add that to your character sheet. We can always do that at the end of the session, but you'll pick one today. And the next time that you guys rest, if you happen to choose a different activity, you'll add that to your character sheet, and those will be the 2 that you have picked for your character. If you just keep picking the same one, then you can sort of leave the extra space free until such a time as you want something different. Normally, you'd kind of pick 2 at character creation. I'm not going to have you guys do that. I'd like you guys to kind of figure out your group or your role in the group as we go along.
Jason, that sounds great. For the bonds, I just have a quick question.
Yes.
And this is so granular, I apologize. Is it supposed to represent like you get to a town and then you can sort of reflect on the bonds that you've made and then solidify it mechanically? Or is it meant to represent like if Rosalind and I end up going on a crazy run in the casino and that's what like forges it? And I ask because I shouldn't like Gunolf for me is my biggest bond, but mechanically in the game we don't have that forged yet.
It is entirely up to you.
Great. Okay. That's the easy answer. Okay. Awesome.
Yeah. If you guys want to, I encourage you to use both the sort of rest activities as well as the bonds to sort of facilitate mechanically the kinds of role play that you'd like to do with your characters.
Okay.
And if there's any kind of role play that you'd like to do that isn't covered by those 2, that is also totally fine. rest scenes are designed to just be like the downtime between traveling and like combat and things like that. So it's sort of a breather for you guys to sort of just have very roleplay heavy interactions. So I guess the question is, where do you want me to cover what the rest activities are? Is there any questions about like the bonds and things like that?
I'm having troubles finding the rest activities, and I was yesterday as well.
That's totally fine. They are in the playtest material.
Oh, playtest materials, of course.
Are these different than camp activities?
They're the same thing. Sorry, I'm calling them rest activities or
Okay,
camp
okay,
activities.
okay.
I don't like calling them camp activities because you can do them in a place that's not a camp.
Why don't we go over the rest activities together, and then we can figure out like what they are and what
so
they mean.
Yeah, so every again, I'm gonna call them like a rest activity because I don't like camp. So these activities are, think of them as like, if we were playing at a table, I'd probably like hand you a card or like a token or something. These are going to be sort of like what do we call them? Things that you can expend as you go through. So like, it might be, okay, well, between, after this rest and sort of, between now and the next rest we have, you sort of get a little extra ability or a bonus that you guys can sort of spend. So these are things that you want to kind of keep track of. They have mechanical bonuses, but they're designed to be a little bit flavorful and just sort of how you guys are spending like your off time, and to sort of reward you for doing it. So I'll kind of go through the list here. We can always also kind of cover this. Ask me if you have more questions. And if I need to slow down, let me know. But I'll just list them out. Okay. So the first one is that they call it Camp Forge. This is something that you do basically so every one of these will have a target. Sometimes it's an ally, sometimes it's yourself. This one is yourself. And so if you do this activity, you choose one option, and that is to repair a damaged item owned by the group, or create a single basic weapon, armor, or shield of your choice without paying the cost. Or you destroy a single piece of equipment owned by the group, and you obtain material whose value is equal to the cost of the destroyed item. So this is sort of used to rotate through item economy and stuff like that.
Okay.
The next one is cartography. This one you target yourself, and once before the next rest, after the group makes a travel roll, you may re-roll the dice and keep the new result. So this is basically to traverse the map easier, which you guys may or may not make use of. You're not really in the wilderness currently, but it may be useful at some point. The next option is a combat lesson, and the target for this one is another ally, one ally of yours, so not yourself. And this is once before the next rest, after making an accuracy check or a magic check for an offensive spell, the target may add a bonus of +4 to the result of the check. So this is a bonus to hit that you can spend once before the next rest.
Okay.
For one of your allies. The next one is Daydream. This one is for yourself, and this is once before the next rest. When you lose hit points for whatever reason, you may choose to have the HP loss. The next one is Double Portion. This one is for an ally. And once before the next rest, if the target is about to recover hit points, they can double the amount of hit points that they recover. The next one is Exploration. This one is for yourself or one ally. And you spend your time looking for a useful item. Describe how and roll a d6. On a 1, ouch, you do not recover hit points and mind points during the rest. If you get a 2, it's not what I was looking for. You regain 1 inventory point. If it's a 3 to 5, this can be useful. The target recovers 3 inventory points. And if it's 6, it's Jackpot. You find an amount of Zenith equal to your character level times 50.
Pretty good.
There's Gathering.
That one's pretty good. Yeah,
that one can be good. The next one is Gathering, and this is for a character with the Gourmand class. So it only applies.
There you go.
You look for ingredients in the area, and contextually, this could either be like out in the woods, or like in this case, you could just do some like casual shopping, maybe exchanging like your sort of stuff for them or whatever.
Ketchup packets in the.
Yes. Yeah. So similar to the other one, you describe how, and then you roll a d6. On a 1, you get help. At the end of this rest, the entire group will be caught in an easy conflict against a threat whose level is equal to the group level. On a 2, will these be okay? The target receives 2 ingredients with random taste. 3 to 5 is looks tasty.
Tasty.
The target receives 3 ingredients with random tastes. And 6, these. The target receives 3 ingredients, each with a taste of their choice.
Thanks, Peter.
So a handy way to get lots of things for our gourmand. The next one is a magic lesson, and this targets one ally. And you choose a single spell amongst those that you know. Once before the next rest, the target may perform the spell action to cast the spell that you choose. They have to still pay the MP cost and perform any like magic check as needed. But basically, you can give somebody one of your spells that they can use once.
So on that one, magic lesson and then combat lesson, even though it's benefiting, it doesn't take up both people's slot. It's only one person's slot.
It's
for
the
that
person
day.
giving the lesson that it takes the.
Yeah.
So it takes so like whoever is giving the lesson, it takes up their spot, but they give it to an ally.
Yeah. And then the ally can still do another thing.
Correct.
Right.
If you could have one person give a combat lesson and one person give a magic lesson to the same third person, and they now can cast a spell with an accuracy bonus if they wanted to.
Nice.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. Then there's martial practice. This one is for yourself. Once before the next rest, when you perform an attack, you may grant that attack the multi-2 or increase its multi-property by 1 point.
Probably Myru, right?
Up to my room.
Yeah.
But yeah, that can stack with either weapons that have multi or certain skills that grant multi to a particular attack. Those all work together. The next action is massage, and this is for one ally.
Ooh,
once before the next rest, if the target is about to pay a mind point cost, they may have the MP cost. This benefit cannot be applied to a ritual's MP cost. That's because rituals have like their own set amount. The next one is Midnight Oil, and this is for yourself. You generate 2 points of progress for a single project of your choice. That is more useful to some people here than others.
Yep.
Yeah. The next one is Pep Talk, and this is for an ally. Once before the next rest, if the target is about to recover mind points, they may double the amount of mind points that they recover. The next one is Planning, and this is for one ally. Once before the next rest, after the target performs a group check as the leader or performs a check to examine someone or something, they can add a bonus of +4 to the result of that check. So that's useful to give to somebody that's either going to be the leader or going to be examining things. There are some of you that are better at that than others. The next option is Sleep Soundly, and this is for yourself. Once before the next rest, you may perform an additional action on your turn during a conflict scene. This action must be used to perform the equipment, hinder, or inventory action. Some of you may find that more useful than others. And the last one is Training. This one is for yourself. Once before the next rest, if you are about to suffer one or more status effects from the same source, you may instead choose not to suffer any of those status effects. So it sort of temporarily makes you immune to a status effect. Another one that they suggest, and we kind of can't do yet, but I'm not against doing, is basically, this would be mainly for Peter, where you can basically choose like one ally, and you could basically choose one of your dishes and sort of make it like a specialty dish. So you could apply the effects of that dish to an ally, like purposefully. Basically, you could say, oh no, I always keep some of these on hand, they're my signature dish, and you could just always apply that to them.
Cool.
Yeah, if you wanted to do that as well. Yeah.
Cool.
So I know there's a long list. If any of those sounded particularly good or flavorful for you guys, basically each of you can select one of them now. as we kind of enter this rest scene vaguely here, as well as shopping, doing bonds, things like that. How would you guys like to go about it? You kind of have, this is a little bit more free form than a combat. There's no turn order here. So you can kind of select which activity you'd like to do. You can tell me which bonds you'd like to increase. And you guys can sort of role play amongst each other and kind of whatever order you want.